This video is brought to you by WeatherTech. Now, I'm a big fan of car, truck, and SUV camping, but I hate the feeling of sleeping in a fishbowl. But WeatherTech has a really cool product to help with that. Check this out. This is the sunshade, but not just for your windshield, for all the windows. They are shiny on one side to help deflect the rays of the sun in the summer to keep your car cool, and then on the other side, they're dark black, which helps absorb some of that heat from the sun and melt the frost in the winter. Check out the link in the description below for all your car, truck, and SUV needs.
Welcome to TFL's Running on Empty series. As gas prices go through the roof in the country, we wanted to show you and exactly list the best MPG fuel-efficient pickup trucks in the full-size half-ton segment.
That's correct. And what we're going to be doing is giving you a list based on our experience, and we're going to add EPA numbers so you guys have the full idea of, hey, that's an economical truck for me.
Yes, and you can only get it from TFL because we have 10 years of experience with trucks, we have 12 years of experience with cars and other vehicles, and you can go to tfl-studios.com because we also have TFL car videos, TFL EV videos, and TFL off-road videos on Running on Empty.
Correctamundo. So without any further delay, let's get to the list.
Number 5 on our list of best fuel-efficient pickup trucks in the half-ton segment is the Nissan Titan.
Now, this is a bit of a surprise because I didn't think of the Titan as that efficient. However, we are talking about a vehicle that does have a newer version of the 5.6-liter V8.
And a 9-speed automatic transmission. Here's what the EPA says. They rate the two-wheel drive Titan at 16 city, 21 highway, 18 combined, and the four-wheel drive at 15 city, 21 highway, 18 combined, which is pretty similar to each other.
That is indeed, but we actually have some numbers from a towing test as well.
Yes, we've taken one of the recent Pro 4X versions of the Nissan Titan, and I did a MPG loop. This was during the pandemic, but you could see it right here, right now.
That's correct. Now, one additional thing with the Pro 4X, that version is actually on another list, and stay tuned for that in the near future.
Exactly. Okay, so let's do this loop. Calculation. 24 miles divided by 2.018 equals 11.9. A very good result, and basically maybe just a hair better than that Jeep Gladiator Mojave did. 11.9, that's what the truck is saying after my loop. And 11.9 was the calculation. As you saw right there, towing about 5,000 pounds, it got 11.9 mpg, which is actually not bad when you consider towing trailers.
Not only that, but at high elevation. So, I mean, vehicles do have to work a little bit harder to make power up here.
Yes, and also in real-world testing, we've been getting between 18 to 19 mpg on the highway. So this truck is number 5 on the list because ultimately on a long trip, it kind of manages 19 mpg unladen.
That's not too bad. All right, let's get to the next one.
Number 4 on the list is the 2022 Toyota Tundra. This is the all-new truck.
Right, and we should say that this is the one with the V6 without the hybrid powertrain. Am I correct?
Exactly. Twin turbocharged V6, a new 10-speed automatic transmission. It's a fully new truck, and we have a long-term tester, so we know everything about it. We almost have 7,000 miles on our truck in 3 months.
Which isn't too bad. We're beating up on the poor thing.
Yes. So the EPA rates it at two-wheel drive version at 18 city, 24 highway, 20 combined, and the 4x4
is 17 city, 23 highway, and 19 combined.
And here's what happened. I picked it up in Texas, in Houston, Texas, and I drove it back here on 87 octane, which is important because it can run on 87. Actually, most of these trucks are rated at 87 octane.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the result. Let's roll the video, right? Okay, I just finished filling up. Let me show you the gallons that went in the truck. 18.084. So if you take 337 miles divided by the gallons, the result I have is 18.6 mpg. So it's a little bit better than the truck was saying. It's realistic. It's high-speed first road trip. Ooh, 18.6 mpg on the highway.
I thought it would do a little bit better, but bear in mind that that thing wasn't fully broken in.
Yes, and also highway speeds. I'm talking about 75 miles an hour through Texas and other states. But there's more. Later on, I took the same truck and I put it on our I-25 here highway test, unladen, and I put premium fuel in it, and this truck returned 24 mpg.
Major difference. Now, I think
Yes.
part of that is the premium fuel, and part of that is being broken in.
Yes, so this truck will be somewhere in between those two numbers probably.
Right.
But as you can see in this video, also 24 mpg is possible on a highway loop.
Impressive. How about we move on to the next one?
Yes, and I wanted to bring this up also. So prices across the country are going up on fuel, of
Yes.
course. And we'll mention E85 in our second episode, which is coming actually a little bit later on TFL Truck, right?
Yeah, and that part of the reason why is because E85 is not as efficient, but it is less expensive to purchase.
So you have to kind of make a decision. Do you buy base fuel like 87 octane, for example, in California or Texas?
Right.
Or you go for the premium fuel if you don't have to save, to get a little bit more efficiency. It's kind of a head scratcher.
No, it just really is your calculator. You're going to have to sit out there and really figure out what works best for you. How about we move on to the 2022 Ford F-150 Hybrid, a vehicle we have a lot of experience with.
Yes, this is number 3 on our list. I own one, so almost 13 months now, so over a year. So we have a lot of experience with this truck. We've put it on many, many different tests. EPA rates the two-wheel drive version at 25, 25, 25 mpg.
That's pretty easy to remember.
And the 4x4 for 2022 is rated at 23, 23, 23.
Once again, easy, and it makes sense because four-wheel drive, more drag, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you remember when it first launched in 2021, it was rated at 24 mpg combined. But because Ford is selling a little bit more of these hybrids in higher trim options, which are heavier trucks,
Right.
so that MPG rating was adjusted. But here's what happened when we put it on our mixed loop, which actually has a big chunk of highway driving.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Aha! So 2.477. Let's calculate. So we're going to use the 54.7 miles that we went on this trip divided by 2.477 is the gallons I've used, equals 22.1. Yeah, so 22.1, dude, that was nowhere near the 23 or 24 mpg rating.
Now, a couple questions with that. I mean, do you think some of that had to do with the high elevation or the possibility that the truck wasn't that broken in?
It's possible, and also there's an acceleration involved. We
Yes.
did 1-0 to 60. But overall, 22.1, here's my experience with the hybrid. On the highway, going higher speeds, 70, 75 miles an hour, it's still a big truck.
Yeah.
So the fuel efficiency will be a little bit lower than you might expect. In the city, though, it could be really great.
And that's partly because of regenerative braking and whatnot. Yes,
An
absolutely.
electric motor. But we did a second test on an I-25 loop. This is a slightly different loop, and something crazy happened. Well, this is what happened. Bam! That's insane. Let's calculate this, but I don't know what to tell you guys. Same pump, same day. 48.1 divided by 1.339 is 35.9 gigawatts. What? I'm speechless.
That is insane.
I think their pump may have been the culprit because 36 mpg is in a whole different ballgame.
That's nuts.
Yes, so I would say something like 26 or 27 is possible because I've seen that also.
Right.
On a a little bit of a lower speed run. But yeah, that's why it's number 3 on our list, because it's kind of in this middle area.
Right, and you've had personal experience, so you do know that it is a relatively, actually quite efficient vehicle.
Yes.
And that's all done on 87.
87 octane, yes. Often I use 91 octane for daily driving, and it saves me a little bit of efficiency. You might be wondering about another engine. So an honorable mention to Ford's 2.7 liter twin turbo V6.
Yeah.
Because it's rated really highly by the EPA. But there's a caveat here. In our experiences here at TFL, Remember when you and I tested the two Ford trucks, it didn't return great numbers towing at all.
No, and also, the trip, or the vehicle itself, its computer was saying something slightly different than what we were actually...
Optimistic.
Yeah, it was a little
Yes.
optimistic. Yeah.
Yes, so here's a video just to show you the 2.7 liter V6, which is their most popular engine. Here's what happened towing. Okay, 66 miles divided by 7.559. 8.7. Very close to what the computer said.
Very close to what the computer
But
said.
about 1 mpg less than the V8. Yeah, 8.7 mpg, dude. That's why it's an honorable mention. So if you want to tow, get the hybrid. Don't go for this other V6.
Yeah, although I still have to say it's a fantastic V6. It's one of my favorites. All right, shall we move on?
Number 2.
This is a surprising one for me.
Yeah, where should we go here? Number 2 is 2022 Ram 1500 Eco Diesel V6.
Man, that thing has held up over a long period of time with a lot of changes for various reasons. But the most fuel-efficient version of it is the HFE model. Now, what is that?
High efficiency, high fuel efficiency. It's in the name.
Right.
But it's a two-wheel drive truck, usually kind of a smaller cab with a tonneau cover. It's a special package they offer.
Right.
And it's rated pretty highly by the EPA, 23 city, 33 highway, 26 combined. And if you get a four-wheel drive regular version of the diesel Ram, 21 city, 29 highway, 24 combined. But here's what happened. Let's go to the video where I put it on MPG loop in Hudson. This is Highway I-76. And here's what happened. 66 divided by 2, 33.
So you're saying we beat the EPA by 1?
Yeah, we did beat the EPA by 1. And the truck said 30.8. So the truck was underestimating itself.
Yes.
So that was 33 mpg driving highway speeds.
I am really impressed with that.
Yeah, dude, real world.
Yeah.
Not babying it. It was during the winter time.
And once again, high elevation.
High elevation, potential crosswinds. So 33, this is why it's number 2 on our list.
Yeah.
It's super, super efficient on the highway especially. And then this is what happened when we were towing. So the towing number was 12.4 mpg, which is reasonable, right?
Yeah, that's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, it's one of the best numbers we've ever got, actually, with any truck.
But yeah, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, 12 is very possible.
Also, 12.4 towing.
That's not bad if you
Yeah.
think about considering what it was towing. I actually am really impressed with that.
Yeah,
number.
this is our older horse trailer that we were towing, which is still slab-sided.
It's like a hunk of lead. Yeah.
big trailer. So, and also in that video, you may have seen, we also got a 40 mpg result unladen with nothing else. But it was kind of an outlier, kind of like that F-150 hybrid outlier. So once in a while, the pump just kind of messes up, and we have to report that still. So, but it's number 2 on our list for a reason. If it's towing, it's great. If it's unladen, it's also really, really good. But it's not the best.
No, and the best is one of my absolute favorites.
Yes, I knew you were going to say that. Number 1 is the Silverado 1500 or the GMC Sierra 1500 with the 3-liter straight 6 diesel. So the EPA may actually be underrating this engine a little.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, because the EPA two-wheel drive rating is 23 city, 31 highway, 26 combined, and the 4x4 is 22 city, 26 highway, 24 combined. So a couple of things we've done. I mean, many tests, but I took it on a winter vacation once in the Sierra 1584, which is a lifted 4x4 truck.
Yeah, it's got heavy tires on it. It's got, it's a solid off-road truck.
And I drove it into the mountains to go skiing with the family, and I got 25.3 mpg.
Now, that's after going up and back down the hill.
Yes,
Okay.
so it's kind of a combined loop. But still, in winter, cold temperatures, it was like near 0 Fahrenheit. Still very, very impressive. And then we did another test on our Hudson loop, and here's what happened there. 66 divided by 1.943. Almost 34. It is. It's rounding to 34, dude.
Cool. Now
So one better.
what was the Ram? Was it
33.
It was one better too.
Yeah.
We are beating the EPA. Hooray!
We're beating it in real world.
Yeah.
And the Chevy is 1 mpg better, both empty and loaded.
Yeah.
That was actually a direct battle versus the EcoDiesel.
Right.
Part of that video. But the Silverado returned 34.
It's an extraordinary engine. And we got to say, it's also one of the smoother ones. One of the reasons I like it is because it's a daily driver diesel. It feels normal on the streets. There's not a lot of lag. It's a really impressive setup.
Yes, and if you have noticed for 2022 and actually last year, Chevrolet and GMC are switching the availability of this engine. They're trying to offer it in more trim levels. So, of course, component shortages notwithstanding, they're trying to offer it to more people and lowering the price. So they know it's a good engine, obviously, and they're offering it in more vehicles.
That's right. And you mentioned lowering the price. So in other words, it's easier to acquire this engine without a major jab, which is impressive.
Yes, and an honorable mention here
Yes,
as
please.
well for great fuel efficiency is Chevrolet's GM's 2.7 liter gasoline 4-cylinder turbo. This engine kind of came out of nowhere a couple of years ago, but it's still really, really great. Decent ratings. And here's what happened. This blew us away. Just roll this video.
24.227 miles to the gallon. So the trip computer was actually almost spot on. It was 0.01 off. That's pretty good. But B, much better results than Car and Driver got. We got 6 mpg better than they did.
What do you think?
24.4 mpg.
This is real world.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yes, on our Hudson Loop. So yes, that little engine is powerful, and actually updating it for 2022.
Yeah, so it makes even more torque, and it's a heavier duty powertrain. But what's interesting is that also ran on 87, am I correct?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a turbocharged engine. That's impressive.
So there you have it. Yes, some of these engines, like diesels, may have a higher cost. Maybe even some higher maintenance costs over the long run.
Yeah.
But if you drive a lot of miles, those are the best engines. Hybrids are coming on strong.
Yes, they are.
And small turbocharged engines are also strong.
That's right, guys. So you heard it here at TFL, and most importantly, you heard it from Andre, the truck expert at TFL.
Thank you, Nathan. And stay tuned. We're going to do several more videos on TFL truck. We're going to do mid-size. Well, first of all, the worst half-ton engines.
That's right.
Also, the best and the worst mid-size, and the best and the worst heavy duties.
Stay tuned, guys.